Forgot I had this open. This Twitter space. Yeah.
Am I on?
Yep, I can hear you. I like that though.
You said what?
Mm. I promise I didn't introduce Oma to Thomas Sowell. He sent it to me.
No. Oh, you're being serious. My bad. I thought you said that sarcastically.
Yeah. No, he actually sent it to me. And I sent him a video where these like black millennials were doing a podcast.
Okay.
And they were trying to reconcile how they feel
With the facts
with
that
what
he's.
you know what I mean? Right? You have to choose which point to argue on, kind of thing.
They
Can't
they
just go
they
willy-nilly.
were saying that.
Mm. And which is the way they were arguing was just they're just not able to kind of speak about it directly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little harder.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you.
And that's because I was like, okay, so now that you know what he thinks, I'm going to show you how the community, or at
That
least some
part.
people in the community,
That
think
part.
about that perspective, right? Just to give you the other side.
Ah, excellent.
Where is it? And the people on the podcast look the way you think they would. You know, like a black hipster.
That gosh darn. Uh, again, again, another. This is exactly why we. No, I don't want to say we. This is exactly why I shut the fuck up because
I think people have a hard time separating ideas from people. And they argue that to do so is to be racist and or colonialist.
oh wow.
Like you're only allowed to reference the teachings of supreme moral beings, or you're part of the problem.
These hipsters say to us as they go to Harvard, and fuck it, let's just say they earned it, like Saul did. It's like that's the I mean the paradox I find myself in. All the reasons why I want him to shut the fuck up are exactly what lead me to just like, who am I to talk? And then if you ask the people who we claim to be representing what they think, they're not going to give a fuck.
It's interesting because there's a natural inclination to assume that the teaching and solutions that work for us can work for other people. That's always the like, in economics they have ceteris paribus, all things remaining equal. So they
Oh,
say,
I didn't
okay,
know
so
that's what
this is
that
what
meant.
happens.
Okay.
Ceteris paribus, yeah. So the idea was that everything you said in economics had that caveat of all things else remaining equal. This is what happens, but it's always a caveat that we sneak into economics, which is for this is what happens. Everything else remaining equal, ceteris paribus.
that I realized that is actually all I want from soul.
Ceteris
Yeah,
paribus.
just to recognize when all things are equal and you're saying these things for sure. And we
Yes,
can't.
this relationship does probably exist,
Mhm.
if nothing else. Like, this function works, but for these environments. When we have an environment change, functions don't act the same.
You know? That's wild though. Well spoken, sure, but I find him uncouth.
Well, if he wasn't uncouth, you probably wouldn't know about him, right? That's the paradox,
That's facts.
right? Like, how do you get on TV,
Part.
right? He was the antipodal point.
He was their token.
Yeah, yeah, in a lot of ways, right?
And that's all my resentment stems from. And maybe I am a liberal. I want a supreme moral
I mean,
being.
I think we all do, right? Wouldn't that be nice?
All things being equal.
Right? Machiavelli said, though, that, introduce someone who doesn't agree with your morals, and you're going to find yourself adopting those same tactics eventually to defend yourself. That's the challenge, right? It's like, you might not want to play politics at work, but the minute somebody tries gunning for your position, welcome to politics.
Jeez Louise.
You actually don't have a choice in the matter. Unless you want to leave.
I felt like I didn't put my hand up fast enough for E Ridge, so she bounced. My bad, guys. But yeah, man. Dear old Thomas.
Oh, is that where they got the idea of Uncle Tom? It was Thomas.
That's the challenge.
Well, I mean, if all models are false, then that means, like, we're models too, no? We're a language model, right? We've been trained.
Ooh, spicy ass take.
I always try to remember that I didn't choose where I grew up and what language I spoke, nor the religion I was exposed to.
Mm.
I think some people think that if they were Thomas Jefferson, they wouldn't have had slaves. You realize that?
Mm.
People think that, like, 300 years ago, they would have been the one moral being to say, no, I'm not going to have slaves. Oh, really? Oh, really? Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of.
Well, no, just after you read me, Laura, we had been listening to the 12th Planet book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did we learn slavery from them? And so is this some part of the heritage?
Well, what's crazy is that the whole idea of this Nephilim creating a human race is a race of workers.
That's what I'm saying. They created slaves.
And we're creating a race of workers, of robots.
So that's what I'm saying. Is that part of our heritage? Is this something that we wouldn't have done had we had a different?
We've been
lineage?
outsourcing physical labor for a long time.
But that's how we came into being. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Like, would we have thought of doing that had we not had that kind of beginning? I don't know.
As above, so below.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Oh, that's a picture,
It's a
right?
picture.
Oh. Oh, sorry. I just what was I going to say? Saturday, 4 p.m. your time, 7 p.m. Eastern, if you're free.
All right.
We're gonna Dave, the audio engineer, is gonna be there because everyone's getting prep for their demo. So we're gonna have Dave come in and be like, "All right," they can ask him questions, all that good stuff.
Nice. I'm with it.
NFTs, you got that message I sent you? How did you get more melanin?
Who?
I thought of multiple jokes,
Oh,
but I'm not going to say them.
oh no, never mind. I sent you a signal. Maybe we're one step closer.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I sent you the video I sent to our friend from the south. I think you'll like the title.
Oh man.
It might be a little hard for you to watch. It's kind of floundering. Wait, you know what? I still think there's room for an integration of these ideas.
What?
Matthios is a strong supporter of Thomas Sowell. And recently I introduced him to Cornell West, and he started rethinking his whole position on affirmative action.
Oh man.
Hey, Dan, what do you think about affirmative action?
Oh man, I suck with that one. And I have to say that one because it comes up all the time, at least over the last 30 years. And I never know what it really is completely. It's just not something I've memorized.
It's that I deserve your job instead of you.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
I missed that class because I was still taking, let's see, white supremacy 301 and 305. And then I took how to get to, I didn't take gentrification. I didn't take that. I didn't take Drake. Didn't take Beyonce. I just
Didn't take Drake.
Dude, did you take Drake? What? Did you take Drake in school? Did they teach you Drake? And then you gotta
Yeah,
be
man, I have
like,
all the past exams.
I don't know. They didn't. Are you serious? They didn't teach your kid Drake? Holy shit! You off? Okay. I don't know what that skit was. That was just a bit in my head.
Nah, man. That was fire. I seen it.
Yeah, well, today's days are brought to you by the letters H and the letters P because we're smoking some hemp here. We're not calling it cannabis no more. We're only calling it by nature's name, you know? We're calling it by hemp. Well, whoever came up with that fucking name, we're calling it by that now, you know? Trying to work on my accents and shit. You know what I mean? I got an NFT for you right here. You know what I'm saying? Get some nice fucking tits right here. Seriously, good man titties right here if you need them. You know what I'm saying? And this one's special because it's got an imprint of like a paddle where they had to shock my heart, bring me back. You know what I mean? I was on the other side for like, well, not at all, but I mean, I was like technically kind of like on the other side when I want, you know, my heart wasn't feeling so good, you know, having some hard days. But yeah, I ended up going to this guy and like, just shock your heart, you know, let's just go ahead and shock that shit. Where the hell did you put the tool? Here it is. But yeah, they're gonna shock the heart. And they're like, well, you want to do it? It's like I've never had my heart shocked before, but man, it felt great. I actually kind of wish it'd be something that you could sort of self-medicate on. You know what I mean? You could just get a kid at home, and you know you wouldn't tell your wife or anything because people don't want you shocking. You know, are you shocking without me? You know that kind of shit. I didn't want that to happen. So, you know, I had to do the right thing. And sometimes to do the right thing is to go left. Not because you're not a righty. It's just because on the left you get a little bit more extra room, you know, with the angels and shit if you're doing everything right. Because right is about I don't know, right's about going after wrong sometimes. And wrong ain't so bad. But, you know, it's deep. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. When you go deep in the well of the souls, like they did in Indiana Jones, holy shit, that is macking. My Guyana friends, this shit is macking. You know what I'm saying? It's a if you go deep, you gotta wear the big shoes and get those galoshes because sometimes it's really like deep. Oh, and I want to go to casinos. I'm gonna convince a bunch of people to go with me to the casino to watch me lose money. I'm gonna do a documentary about it. There'll be a five-part Twitter Spaces documentary. It will only exist on Twitter Spaces, so like the actual living of like the actual movie plays out in sort of like, you know, 5 different, you know, moments or episodes of the actual Twitter Spaces. It gets written up in all the magazines and people on like Hollywood's like, fuck yeah, that is the way to do it. Syndicate, you know what I mean? And then it just blows up. Blows up. You know what I mean? All these financial tools are resetting. Anyone notice that lately? It's just me. Robinhood like reset on me. Coinbase reset on me. Like, what is going on? It's kind of weird. You're listening to the Syndicate DGen Conversations brought to you in a broadcaster voice and a mindset of a leftist pacifist who believes only in trajectory missiles, physical weapons only in the Ukraine battle. This is a special sect of humanity that believes if you are going to go to war, you should go do it hand to hand or sword by sword. Weapons, drones, it's too much. You know what I mean? It's too much.
Theoretically, I know if if I owned ChatGPT.ai, would that be valuable?
Well, they're going to do eminent domain on you, whatever happens. So don't you worry about that. Right? You know what I mean? Ha ha! I've got your domain. Dare you innovate without me now? Right? I just don't think that holds much water when you put, like, who are you? I'm sorry? I'm Mike. Oh, you're with Mike. Oh, you're with Mike. You're with Microsoft. Oh, you're with Microsoft. Okay. Yeah, I'm with. Oh, Elon. Oh, Mr. Musk even. Yeah, and Jeff Bezos in there. Okay. Oh well, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? And then the conversation twists on you. So then the whole thing's gonna flip on you. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be worth something, but like, that's just a new character I'm working on, Got your domain. That's right. I saw you looking at that color and I got what? It's not it's my color. He can use it too. Pity the weak, for they are not strong in the ways of the mind. But do not pity the smart, for their mind is an ocean, devoid of logic, filled with no emotion, and often a reject of Baywatch. Instead, open your mind and take into it a kind of tone, a kind of place to be. Stand there for a minute. Now put down your pants and pee on the person in front of you. I did that at a concert once. I cannot believe it. I am so high. What gadget is this? This is so good. Cannot believe we did that. I did not want to pee. I thought we were in the restroom and we were. But the person in front of me his head looks like the little, the disc that goes on the. It's great being here. Can you hear that siren in the background? It's kind of cool if you can. And if you can hear it, it sounds like this. Almost like a dead cat. Today we're smoking out the Dabbler 2X Model Z. It comes with a double punch net and needs to be activated through this reactive magnetic window. The Double DX comes with a basis quartz engine and can be upgraded to a nuance and possibly graphene if we ever get the patent. Down below that has a bisectional system that can be charged on both left and right sides while at the same time maintain a complete charge of up to 24 to 18 hours. The Model D comes with 2 enhancement chambers to allow you to have 2 different phases of heats between, say, solid state heat and a bring it on, let's go heat. The bring it on, let's go heat, trademark, of course, can be available in 4 options. The third option isn't available and only available via the app. All of these products and more can be found in our new Syndicate catalog coming out in a few weeks. Thanks for listening.
What are you guys doing?
Just slowly turning up the schizophrenia for the day.
Ah, okay, okay.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day for a wizard. Would you be mine? You can get a wizard today. That's right. Go on down to OpenSea 289 416 66482, whatever that could be. We're following that man over there, KC Imagination. That's right. Bring on wizards and more wizards because it's good for you. It's good for your children. That's right. It's the first and only cartoon that's been rated good, meaning it's good for your kids and it won't harm them. Get it today.
Just got to get you the pricing on it, and you're good to go. By the way, didn't you actually start minting some as well?
Yes, that's right. This hand man known as the Floozy Spink. That's right. Meet the Floozy Wonder has gone in and minted a few of his own specialty things.
See,
He made a general set called 420 because he was probably high at the time of making the store. And then he proceeded to make his another series that actually represents a series of like runway models. And that's rather uniquely strange. And that actually was consistently bizarre in the AI tool.
now wait,
Yeah,
wait,
and then
wait,
we
wait,
did
wait,
some other
wait.
stuff too.
Are these all pre-reveal images? Oh no, those are different models.
Pre-reveal
Ah, I
images?
see, I
What does
see.
this you speak of?
What is this magic?
This man speak of code of I do not understand. I come from days of quantum and Seagate. I know not what he speaks. It is okay. He is from the metaverse. Yeah, mostly Indian. Few Asians. Very small penises. But the Guyanese, oh my god, those people are so unfunny. They do so much great voice acting and they're known for their superior editing skills.
Und Hyperleben.
Definitely.
All
It
right.
is the horned horse. I see him. Harold is in the background. Come on, let's everyone mimic him. Say it together. Hello, how are we? I actually had a dream that actually phrase got verbalized in a dream. And it's a spell that you can use to like summon like a fire pit, you know what I mean? Like he just has to go in his backyard and go open his arms and go, hello, how are we? And then it's like a bonfire appears, which is pretty cool. We could do that in spatial. We'll have to figure out the code, but yeah. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? I mean, spatial already has like the assets you can upload, and there's probably the ability to show them or turn them on or turn them off. So why not just connect that ability to voice and then build like a voice set so
Yeah,
that
so
you
you can
can be
say download fire, download
yeah,
fire
or
pit,
but
download car, download city.
yeah, but don't make it like that. That's you don't want to say download. You want what you
Well,
want to
make
do
it
is say,
sexy, do whatever. I just said download,
yeah, yeah. You want like Simon says, give me a fucking bonfire.
yeah.
Right? It brings a bonfire. But if you said Simon says understood you, but doesn't understand your accent, can you give us some more Boston? Well, fucking I whatever, that would be fun. But that can't yeah, we gotta so much to do, Lassie. So much to do. Let's check in on your DoorDash. All right, here's hey, Dan, your order has been picked up from Potbelly Sandwich Shop. Now, Dasher is on the way. Are you excited? Press 1. Are you naked? You don't have to answer that now.
Mattios, are you there still? Okay. I have,
yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Actually, not a question, just an observation. You made me laugh so fucking hard when we we watched my little anime movie, and there's the point where he's like gonna sacrifice everything, and I hear Mattios in the background, Shinji, no.
Facts.
Dude, I laughed my ass off. I just want you to know I appreciated that. That did not go unappreciated. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Nah, hey, thank you.
It was one of those small things, like, I filed away. I'm like, when the time is right, I must thank him for that. So, yeah.
Hey, see, I saw the edit. Looks great.
Dude, yeah, man. Thanks for the idea. dude, I fucking ends up I have in the arsenal of Clipchamp transitions
Mhm.
cross blur, and
Nice.
it works pretty okay.
So hold on, you weren't using transitions before?
No, I was, but it was the type of transition I was
Oh,
using. Yeah,
right. Okay.
but
Wicked.
yeah, incorporating the still picture
Oh
was
yeah.
that was the game changer, and then applying the filters to them.
There's some implied growth happening, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That idea of incorporating the still picture was where the magic really came in. That's
I like how you're mixing a lot of different things together,
yeah,
like your motion lead stuff, and then you sort of first sort of playing around with what you could use from Wombo from the video files, what was usable, what wasn't, where was, you also learned what is typically useful. In other words, if you're doing a wide body shot of somebody, animation would typically maybe work, whereas this doesn't work. I'm kind of doing the same thing a little bit like on with Midjourney, similarly in different ways. Like this week, I've been doing nothing but blends. And blends is insanely awesome ability in Midjourney for you to basically blend up to 5 images together, and it's a blend that blends their likeness characteristics. Like what is that image like? So if this is neon graffiti on a wall, and you want to mix that with, like, say, the opening credits of The Matrix, and then say mix that into 70s Totoro anime, and then let's throw in a Dodge Dart from 1975 in the middle. And you get some just insane shit. Some of the coolest shit I have seen yet has come from this blend feature. And typically, and I'm blending things that aren't traditional. Like I've been blending my old comic book, like I would do doodles when I used to work in commercialization, and like they're hand stick doodles and mostly words, like quotes, and I need to get them out there. I'm working on that. But I actually take those and then mix that with one of my pieces of art, and then that creates almost like a new doodle or a really cool new comic strip. Like it's amazing the stuff that you can do. So that's a really cool new feature. And then still waiting for like the motion, and that's what's cool on KC, watching you do all the stuff you're doing on Motion Leap. It's a really cool program.
dude, I'm down with the motion leap, man.
Yeah.
It is working okay. And it's so funny. So it's Motion Leap by Lightrix, and Lightrix has got a series of video editing, photo editing apps. I am every time I like finally figure out how to use a tool, I'm like, all right, cool, let's make this. Then the next tool comes along, and I'm like, that was trash because now I can do this and this and this. Like, it never stops. There's always so much, so many tools. It's never ending stream. I look at what people are doing on Midjourney and the hyper realistic. I'm just like, blows my mind.
Yeah, the photorealistic stuff was fun to do, and it's you can see, and I've spent a lot of money on Midjourney already, but at the same time, it's definitely a product that, and the guy is an entrepreneur that knows this. It's like if he's gonna monetize. He's got to monetize. So, but yeah,
Dude, have you tried mixing in equations yet?
I tried a little bit. It's weird. It does really crazy, wild sci-fi lightning. I don't know. It's like Einstein lightning all the time.
um, I like short prompts, right? Like I don't like long, super detailed prompts. I like real short prompts. And mixing a short prompt with an equation, mm, that's that's pretty tasty. So if you ever do short prompting, I think equations work well with those.
I really think, with ChatGTP, I sort of had a lot of fun with sort of building my own linear editor, scene editor, or sort of not building it, but acting it out with ChatGTP, which was I had it describe a scene that I could render, right? And then I would then say, okay, now let's reverse that scene. Let's go back to that scene. Give me 3 minutes before that scene. What happened? And so then ChatGPT reinterprets the prompt from a timeline perspective.
That's an interesting usage.
Yeah. Yep. And so then basically you start building out the timeline stuff. And if I can do that on ChatGTP, how far is it away from doing it in Midjourney? Which
Right.
means that you can render a prompt in Midjourney and say, okay, I want you to turn left,
Well,
go 20 feet.
dude,
You know what I mean?
it blows my mind seeing people like, yeah, okay, I did this in Stable Diffusion, imported it into Unity. Now I've got an immersive psychedelic environment and I can fly a spaceship around. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, over on Monaverse,
Yeah.
they're doing that stuff where, it's like the never ending zoom in effect as an environment that you can like fly a spaceship around.
That's cool.
Fuck yeah, dude.
We've got to get into nerfs too. I haven't really touched into that.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I've been looking at the Luma Labs API. That's the one that seems to be the most popular from a accessible ecosystem perspective.
So
Do they have an API?
Yeah,
That was
there's
like
a
a Mac thing
Luma. It's
or an
called
Apple thing.
Luma. Yeah, they have an API that you can use, and then they have like a mobile app and some other
Yeah.
things.
So you're saying if I give it like 5 to 7 images, upload with an API key, I can get the
I think
object
so.
back? Wow.
As far as I understand, that would
Wow.
be the answer. Yeah.
Oh. Curls, if you're listening, Casey, even Daniel, and Dan. Saturday, Christian, the audio engineer, is going to be there because people are getting ready for their demos.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that.
He'll be there and do all that science with you.
hey,
Do you have your mic, Dan?
Yeah, I'll have a new mic set up. I
Hold
don't know
on.
if I'll have it connected to my PC at the time, but I'll probably figure that out. Yeah.
Or just bring it, like have it there, and then like the idea is that like maybe we can do like a thing where it's like, okay, Dan, what do you have? Show us what you have. All right,
Yeah.
now plug this into that, so we can have it. As
No, that would be great.
virtual
I
video.
think once I show you what I have, they'll be like, "Oh, okay, you can do this."
It took me 2 years to figure out my setup, and I'm 5 minutes away from fucking Christian. Yeah, I know what it's like. And then look at a bunch of wires and be like, well, this plugs into that, but that does not plug into this. And you're just sitting there with a bag of wires at your foot, and you're like, fuck this, I'm going back on Twitter Spaces. What was I going to say? Blah, 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 blah. I talked to Christian today. He can't accept PayPal payments right now because there's a dispute. So we're handling that one step at a time.
does he have
what's going
is he
on?
into crypto at all or no?
Oh, he's in.
No, it's not that. There was a complaint about a charge. So I'm working through that with him right now. You can imagine.
Is this who we think it is, or whatever?
Oh, you understand.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So it's fine. We'll just handle it one step at a time.
But it proves malicious intent. At least if I'm understanding what I'm hearing, And of course, that guy could be listening. Alaska Oshi could be listening. So, Dan, just say the question. You trying to ask me if I fuck with you guys? I'm like, yeah, because sometimes it sounds like you would. But then again, why? But,
Yeah, it is what it is. We just move forward. Risk cannot be destroyed, only transformed. Hofstede.
I hear you.
I want to wrangle Christian in on my project. And
well, I was going to say, Christian and Dan. I mean, you introduced the autonomous network?
Oh, I've been waiting for Dan to catch on to that. I didn't want to say it bluntly, but like, Dan, did you happen to actually look at the whole story?
I
Did you
haven't
see,
yet.
dude?
I've been kind of.
Did you see your place in the story?
I know that I get mad. I kind of have like put myself in a bit of a cocoon a little bit. Because I know that there's a part of me in the storyline from sort of an
You get,
acronym standpoint.
dude, you get 2 pages and another mention more than any other character, more than any
Oh my
other.
goodness!
Yeah, dude, you get 2 full
Am I a
animated pages.
mastermind? Am I a bad guy?
Oh
Like
no,
this is
dude, do you remember? I made a joke and did some random AI picture about the crack
mm-hmm.
about the decentralized autonomous network.
Right.
Um, and that little tweet thread really stuck in me when I was making the the wizard story. So I made 2 pages where like the first one is basically you warning the main character like you don't want to see me, it'll kill you. It'll fucking kill you if you see me. He's like, I'm already dead, let's do this. And the next one you're like imparting massive amounts of information to him and his life essence is being destroyed by the amount of knowledge. It's awesome. Yeah.
That's cool. Now, is this a story that you've had for a while, or just one that you kind of made up?
I made it up.
Awesome.
Yeah, I made it up based on the AI images I was creating.
Yeah.
Like I was creating the images and I kind of saw the storyline. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So I went for
Mm-hmm.
it and I actually tweeted it in a thread. Like the original
Yeah.
storylines in a thread. So yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's really cool. And then you've been doing some spatial work too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or some-
Just got another one. Oh, dude. Oh shit. Mike, I talked to Cameron and sent him over the file. Dude, he's kind of sounds like he's into it. I really thought that the work would be too insignificant for them to want to mess with, but he's like, yeah, no, yeah, we got people that would be up for the yeah, let's do that. I'm like, oh, okay.
are you brokering external deals now?
Yeah, well, so what I'm gonna do is he's into the little one-off
Mm-hmm.
situations, right? Like, I need the doors fucking gone from this mansion. I need this removed. I need a hole here, whatever. And I basically bypass my pay to them, but I get a functional system, another happy customer, keep the volume going, um, and then we can explore, Unity functions and upgrades and higher price stuff.
But you're making a piece off him, right?
Mm-mm. So I'm doing this low to no cost as a
Okay.
threshold. And so I need to turn the volume on these little setup spaces, get the
Yeah.
reputation out there, build the business up so that I can then say, okay, now we're introducing the upgrade premier package. Then I make money.
Mm.
But right now, I only make money when I'm the only one setting it up. If I need their help, I bypass the pay, give it to them. They knock out the alterations, and I have a happy customer, and I don't spend 7 hours
Right.
hunting for a fucking environment that is ready made. Yeah.
So what's it come down to a cost wise then? What does it cost you in the end, I guess?
Well, time,
Mm.
just time.
But that outsource right though. I mean,
Oh, well, so if I'm making like $30,
mm-hmm.
it's like a $30 alteration.
Okay.
Mm. I reached out to like 4 people on Fiverr because I'm like, well,
Yeah.
fuck this. Let's just see what.
How
That was
many hours does it
horrible.
take you to typically do a spatial? I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like
Oh, um,
what
if I have if I have the environment picked out and I have the artwork to or the images to curate with, I
mm-hmm.
can knock it out in an hour.
So it's still worth doing yourself at that point if the system was more designed around it, right?
Right, which is why I want to identify the pain points, create a solution
Mm-hmm.
and an outlet that
Yep.
doesn't suck up the
Yeah.
clock and move on. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I mean, I kind of want to sell you. So like when you hand to somebody else or whatever, I mean,
Well,
I see you as not. I was I was thinking actually about it more today of like, okay, yeah, this would be this, and then eventually people would report to KC because you're going to move into management, and you've already moved yourself into management. So that's what's cool. So again, if we look at the clock here and we say, how long has this been going on? We'll say in the last 6 to 9 months, KC has transformed himself not only from the abilities, right, crossover and that, but then the realization of creativity that you could have, which is paramount, and then the actual monetization of all that, right?
mhm.
And then along the way, you have all these other things that you've learned and picked up, and then there's not necessarily a monetization goal right away. It's, a lot of times what people see as oh, you're just fucking around. It's critical play, meaning I can't move through this objective by any other means than the play. I either have to play music, right, go to a strip club, do this thing, but like being serious about it and approaching it from like an organized mentality is not the way to move through to the next stage. And the more creativity you do, the more you realize that. And that's why I think in a lot of ways drugs are more and more preferred, because they're a shortcut to a stage of emotional pain, or a shortcut to PTSD or whatever, because you want to get back to that state. Because man, whenever I'm really in pain and when I hurt myself, the lyrics are amazing. Which is probably true in some ways. Unfortunately, that's classic. That's Jesus and Buddhists and everybody up there in that fucking focus groups in the sky laughing. Ha! They're so dumb. You know what I mean? But yeah, man.
It's challenging to block out time for creativity and be creative on demand.
It can be, until you are in control of your schedule.
Yeah, well,
right now you work 2 jobs, right?
Dude, I wish I only worked 2 jobs.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing. And so what do you make? Can I ask? Like,
well, we can do an offline
whatever.
financial breakdown.
Let's do it in celebrities or cars. What celebrity or car are you currently driving? And which car would you like? Let's go there. Let's not talk about what you're driving. Now we don't care about that. I'm the new recruiter. We don't care about that. Yeah, KC. With Kutus. We care about where you go, not where you have been, young man. Boy. Is he a boy? No, sir, he's not black. I hate to call him a boy. That would be so embarrassing. All right.
Jesus,
just figure out the money that you want and go that way. But at the same time, I would figure, it's funny, I was thinking about hourly stuff the other day because we were figuring out a bunch of projects, and I was like, 25 is good. And 25 is you're in, 35 is you care, and then 45 is you're getting pretty close to ownership, meaning expectations of that level of work. So at 25, the level of work plus like the level of output, they're sort of very close. Like you may get good work, you may not, right? And your ability to pick it off as fast as you can is just save you money. But at 35, you're pretty much getting someone who believes not only can they do the work, but they can do it competently well, and they can do some level of management.
My perspective is all skewed, man. I've been into the heavy triple digits for hourly, and I've been negative.
Well,
so like the value proposition in whatever goal I decide I am going to try and accomplish, to do it for whatever reasons I decide, like that's I don't know. That's got a lot more value.
Well, it's a new industry too. I mean, it's also, for me, it's also kind of like, this is imagine I had to go out tomorrow and hire 2 prompt engineers and, a spatial, CTO, something like that, which is probably going to be like, spatial CTO will be a position in probably 3 years or less. This whole industry is going to turn on. So You got to stay in the space.
Dude,
So
there's
that's
going to be a metaverse that comes along and just dominates everything.
well.
I don't think we've
I
seen it
mean,
yet.
there's going to be a lot of development when Apple hits with their stuff, so that'll be a part of it. But I mean, you already have major players on it. I don't know if there's going to be any one. It's going
No,
to
there's
be.
going to be an ecosystem. Like Google
Mhm,
has Google Cloud,
mhm.
Microsoft has Azure, IBM has Red Hat, Amazon has Amazon Web Services. All of those are used, and most companies use a combination of those solutions. If anything, what might be powerful is the character that is portable, which takes along its assets as it travels.
Well, and that's where the new ecosystem. I mean, what's funny is that all those companies you mentioned are the unicorns and sort of pillars of Web 2.0, but they're not of Web 3.0. So there's in Web, if we just say Web 3.0 is crypto, then let's just skip over that and go right to 4 because there's nothing meaningful in that, right? I mean, not yet. But the new company is, we put spatial in there. Yeah, absolutely, it's a forefront platform.
But
You know, but
but
we've also
spatial is
put a
going to
bunch
be
of others.
acquired, right?
I'm sorry.
Spatial won't,
It'll be acquired, sure.
right?
Well, I think
It could grow. It depends. It depends. It's got its first round of VC in it, so
so. Wait a minute,
you're in a
Dan.
control position.
Don't you see the advantage though of like I set up my whole thing in spatial, and I can also be in Decentraland or Roblox or
Yeah, but that's
where.
not a spatial problem, and that's what Ready Player One's doing. Ready Player One is building the interoperability
Yes,
Right.
basically
that's what I
through.
thought of when I said the avatar. Ready
Yeah,
Player One is the most integratable,
yeah. And they recently
portable
got
character
acquired
machine.
and did get funded, so that's already in motion. In fact, if anything, we're dangerously. We need two other rare Ready Player Ones because what you're looking at is the Chrome browser, right? You're looking at a company that is going to be that powerful and strong because the people on the Ready Player One network may have the best interoperability amongst those platforms because of the advantages of XYZ platform. That recreates the problem we have now, right? Whereas like, Chrome browser works this way, Safari kind of works like this. I use Meteor, they use Orbit, or social networks. I like this network better for that. So that the spatial will either continue to get more funding or become a dominant player or become sort of like a Facebook. You know what I mean? It's has those advantages right out of the gate. The interoperability for it to be web, mobile, and immersive, all in one like that it's key. And then of course it was very simple, and then they started slow, blah blah blah, whatever. But the other networks, Decentraland. In fact, I was just listening to a space earlier today where they were talking about, how they just we got our first connection working between Decentraland and Spatial, and so they were talking about doing joint spaces and sort of showing off capability like that. And now there's players in that. The cool thing is the ecosystem is coming together. You're starting to see it,
One of the
and
early
it's
investors
powerful.
of Ready Player Me is
Yeah.
the co-founder of GitHub, along with Samsung Next.
See, that makes sense. And that's another thing. In other words, Ready Player Me may be as important or as strong as email address itself. It may be a new moniker of identity existence that you log into, and then you have interoperability. But now, if you think about that level of control and power, now you're thinking on a country level, meaning Ready Player One may be the interoperability for North America, but as soon as you cross over to Mexico, we're going to have to jump on, whatever network, right? So it's going to be that level of sort of power. And of course, if we're not thinking about the level of like concern security wise, we should have, and you're not going to like it from a regulatory perspective. Now we're stupid. I mean, you're going to be thinking about that now because you're going to have issues. You're going to have a lot of fucking issues, but it's
Hey
going to be
Dan,
cool.
can you do me a favor and take like maybe 3 to 7 pictures or something? I'm logging into the Luma AI API, and the
You want
Python code is
you
very
want
similar.
7 random pictures around me?
Like no, like like take a Hot Wheels, for example, or like a complicated uh character mark. You know what I mean? Like if you have any toys,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, I'm just signing in now.
Do you want me to do what, like Nerf like images? Is that what you're looking for? Angles and everything?
So let me hold on. How do we use the Luma API? So if I click on here,
You always do this, man. The minute you hear something brand fucking new, I gotta get my snowshoes on, check this API out. You just crack me up.
interesting. Okay, so let's go API. Oh, fuck. So how do I use get started? All right, let's click on the get started. Is there a key? Yeah, because like right now they have come on up, get started. The fuck do I get started? Hold on. Luma AI API. Oh, wrap. Yeah, if I can get 3 images, and this goes for anyone, like, I just want to try something out. All right. Is the API live? What is all of those books? What the fuck?
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm doing dishes.
Mm, no, fine.
Didn't think you guys want to hear that one.
All right, let's try this again. The Python code looks pretty simple, just like, upload the images here and we'll process it for you. Oh, they want me to email someone. So let's copy the email address. All right, I'll email these folks. But at the same time, like, you could just go to lumalabs.ai and I think just start uploading stuff. I'll email them to get some API thingaroos.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Would be good for the course anyways, because it's Python code. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get Matthias onto Python. So there's hello at Luma Labs, API access request. Hello, I represent the Syndicate, the group of creators that create on spatial and other platforms world. How might for nerfing? All right. So I sent them an email.
Nice.
Yeah, but the code looks super duper simple. There's an API endpoint that you can just drag in and be like, hey, send data to this endpoint, have it process it, and send me back the output.
Yeah. That's how domination should work. Easy.
It's like the better the code is, the better the code is, the less code that people need to run it.
And easier they part with their cash for it.
Yeah, the switching costs. Should we go soon? Yeah.
Or I should go to. Be good. I'll catch you guys on the flip.
All right, gonna go for a bit of a drive and come back maybe later on tonight.
See you, man.
Yeah, hold Saturday. I'll send you an invite.
You bet.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you soon.